Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today obviously I will be doing a review of the latest game, of course, the West Yorkshire Derby that at the time of recording happened yesterday. Obviously a 1-1 draw it finished at the John Smiths. We're going to obviously go through the game, share my thoughts and just take you through the game like we usually do. It's not as interactive, obviously, as the live streams that I usually do, but I want to get something out there. Obviously, I'm in Blackpool today, staying overnight tonight, because I'm going to a show, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I still want to do some content, and I'm not sure what time I'll get back tomorrow, so I want to kind of just get a video out there about the game. So yeah, before I do start, obviously, please do make sure you do hit the like button. It does help with getting the video out there. And subscribe if you are stumbling across this video just out of chance. And and also comment your thoughts down below on the game, as I'd love to hear from you and hear what you have to say. Because like I say, you guys are the people that make the channel what it is. So I always love hearing from you as well. So yeah, but anyway, we're gonna get into the game. So obviously, wow, actually a really good game, to be fair. Think, if you look at how we started the game, especially that first half, I thought we were superb in that first half. But obviously, a moment of madness that followed just into injury time of the first half really did ruin the game, I would say. But we'll get into it anyway. But yeah, like I said, we did have some chances, like I say, in the first half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the lineup, which is what I usually do. Nearly forgot. So yeah, when I looked at the lineup, I was a bit not sure about this, because obviously, just go through the lineup and then I'll kind of say my thoughts. Obviously, Lee Nichols started in goal. It was actually a 4-4-2 that Andre went with for this game. Obviously, Lee Nichols in goal, Yuta Nakayama, Tom Lees, Matthew Pearson, and Brodie Spencer. And then, obviously, in midfield, we had Bergzorg, Kasumu in the middle with Jonathan Hogg, and Sorba Thomas on the right. And then Jack Redone up front, although he was Jack Redone is always so, he's in all over the park, so it's hard to see what he's doing. But sometimes I think Bergzorg actually was the one that was up front at the kind of alternative bit, and Redone did come to midfield as well a lot of the time. But yeah, obviously Daniel Warlock obviously starts. So yeah, looking at the lineup, I was shocked, to be fair, because obviously no Matos obviously started the game. He didn't start the game. I was a bit surprised about that. Obviously he's played a lot of football, which I understand. And like I say, it's a busy week ahead for us. Obviously we've got another game on Wednesday and then playing again at the weekend. So it is a busy week. So maybe that was his thinking. But I just think in this type of game, Matos, the aggression that he shows, he loves to get a tackle in, and I just think he's a kind of player that I've already recognised that he thrives in the biggest games, and I think this game was made for him, but obviously he didn't start. So yeah, I was a bit confused about that, if I'm honest. I was a bit annoyed, but that's because I just love Matos so much. I want him to play every single game, but yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a strange one. Obviously, good news that Brodie Spencer made it, and obviously after the game, Andre actually said about Brodie that obviously, as we know, he was ill 48 hours before this game, but he said that he wants to give it a try, which is full credit to him. It just shows the commitment that he has for the football club, obviously coming through our academy setup. So fair play to Brodie, because he tried. He did have to come off in the end, but he'd literally emptied the tank completely. So yeah, obviously he came off then because he wasn't feeling that great before the game. So yeah, it's always good that it's always a good sign, isn't it, when players that might not be 100%, obviously if they've got an illness, we know how it is, having a cold or something in these, and then having to play football as well. But the fact that he was, you know, committed to it and decided to give it a go. So yeah, it just shows the character and the passion he has for the football club. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, I was quite happy with the lineup. I mean, obviously, people on the bench. Helik was on the bench, which was a massive boost for us. But I was thinking to myself, if he's ready to be on, if he's on the bench, then he's fit enough to start. But like it's one of those, you don't want to rush Helik back after a few weeks out. But and obviously Headley was also on the bench as well, which was good news for us. He's been out with a long injury, so that was good for us to see, for him to be back on the bench and also get onto the field actually later on in the match. Also, Helik had to come on as well, didn't he? But we'll go through that. So yeah, fairly pleased, but obviously not happy with Matos not starting. And I was thinking, Helik, should he really have started if he was like? I always think if you're on the bench, you should be able to start the game because but look, he decided to do that, and that's fine. But yeah, I was happy with the lineup apart from that. But yeah, obviously, let's get into the game. So look, we really started the game well. Obviously, Leeds had a few chances, but we had our first chance in obviously on 11 minutes. Jack Redone, great shot outside the box, just saved by the keeper in the top left corner. So it was a good strike. Bergzor causing problems up there, and obviously assisting him with that one, but yeah, couldn't quite make it count. But good attempt. Danny Ward had a half chance then a few minutes after that. His left footed shot was blocked. Kasumu had a shot as well, again blocked. But again, look, these chances we were getting into areas we were looking dangerous. Leeds obviously was looking threatening at times as well. And then Nakayama then went down with an injury. It looked like his knee didn't look too good. He did try and continue, but then he had to come off, unfortunately. He just looked quite bad, to be fair. Obviously, a knee injury, it's always a bit of a funny injury, that, isn't it? A knee, when you come off of a knee injury, it's quite bad, but he did seem to be struggling. But yeah, he did try and carry on, but he just couldn't continue, unfortunately. And then that was when Helik came on. So Helik was obviously he came on in the 26th minute for Nakayama, so there was a bit of a reshuffle at the back. So Helik going to the centre as he always does. I think Pearson actually came out to the right, and then Brody went to the left. So yeah, that we had to reshuffle the defence there. But yeah, good to see Helik back. I look at this, and it was like he's not been away. He came in solid as ever, Mr. Reliable, the brick wall as we call him. Came in superb, really helped the defence. And then just in injury time of the first half, great ball in from Sorba Thomas. And I was talking about set pieces, wasn't that last week? How we struggled with set piece last week, and obviously Sorba was missing. So yeah, it was good to have him back on set pieces, and yeah, he delivered a beautiful ball in, and it fell. I can't remember who it fell to now. It fell to somebody. They had a shot, and then Helik followed it in and fired it into the left hand corner. Let's have a look, see if we can. I can't remember, guys. It's honestly. Yeah, Danny Ward. It was Danny Ward that got on the end of it, and then the header saved. Melier, saves it and pushes it right in front of him, and then Helik was there ready to pounce, and he got it into the net. So it was a great goal. And yeah, really, really, really good goal, and we deserved it. I think in that first half because we looked dangerous. We was looking to get forward. Obviously, we were quite wary about their pace at the back. Obviously, not wanting to get caught out. They did get in behind a few times, but more often than not, we were very organised, had a good shape. And yeah, I was happy. I was happy with how it was going. But then, obviously, the moment of madness I was talking about, and now I couldn't see this in normal time because obviously it was at the other end, so I couldn't actually see. I was quite blocked. The view was quite blocked. It wasn't actually couldn't see what had happened. And Hogg had already got booked, and he'd after having a look at it on the replays back after the game, the pictures that were released, yeah, obviously it was a definite red card, a second yellow offence. Obviously Hoggy elbowed, I don't know who it was now, he elbowed somebody in the face, and yeah, it was a moment of madness, really. But what I will say is that the Leeds players were constantly winding Hogg up all half, and he just overheated. And yes, we can say, look, he shouldn't have done what he did, and he shouldn't have done it. He should know better. He's an experienced player, and yeah, obviously, ultimately, that's what cost us the game, because I genuinely believe that if we would have stayed with 11 men on the pitch, I genuinely believe we would have won that game. I do, because we were looking dangerous going. We looked a lot better than them. Leeds seemed to be quite off it. They seemed to be off the pace in this game. They didn't look at their best. And obviously we were playing very well. So yeah, I thought that we could have got another goal had we have stayed with 11 men on and finished the game. But yeah, so that red card ruined the game, but also he did do that. He did foul it. He did obviously elbow him. So I have no complaints about the red card. And I am disappointed with Hoggy's actions, but it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We're all human. He just boiled over, unfortunately. And like I said, they're a set of wind-up merchants anyway, so they knew exactly what they were doing when they were riling him throughout that first half. And they got what they wanted ultimately, because that's what they wanted. They know what kind of player Hoggy's like, and yeah, that was it really. So yeah, obviously we did see out the half. It was 1-0 at half time, and like I say, apart from that, the game plan and the approach that we took to this game was spot on in that first half. And again, what I will say is wow, the atmosphere. The atmosphere was absolutely unbelievable. That was the best atmosphere that we've witnessed at the John Smith Stadium for a long, long time, let me tell you. And, pretty much a sellout. And ultimately, we as fans really helped the lads on Saturday. And, we knew how big of a test it would be, but the fans, they just didn't stop singing from minute 1 to 90 odd minutes. Obviously, the time added on. So yeah, and we need to keep that now for the rest of the season, because if we can keep that level of noise, people coming down to watch, then we're going to really be able to get some brilliant results from now until the end of the season, which we desperately need. So yeah. We have to come again with the noise next weekend when we back at home against West Brom, isn't it? On Sunday. So yeah. Now, in the second half, obviously there was a change at half time. Obviously, Danny Ward was sacrificed. and Matos came on at half time. Um, Obviously, a reshuffle, had to leave, had to just have one man up front with us going down to 10 men. And yeah, we had to reshuffle, but like I said, Matos came on, superb, really dug in, got a foot in when he could, looked to try and get us forward as well. But yeah, this guy's got everything. He's a special talent. I probably keep repeating myself, and I sound like a broken record, but it's true. Matos, he's such a special player, and honestly, he literally dominates the midfield, and he's a big player for us. And you know, I'd love to see him come back next season for a full season. But anyway, I suppose that's for another time. But yeah, superb when he came on, Matos. But yeah, second half, like I say, it was a lot of we just struggled to ultimately, like I said, the red card was obviously it ruined it really, because then we had to kind of sit in a bit, not sit back completely, let me tell you, because I don't want people to think that's what we did, because we didn't. Because again, we go into games to win. It is all about winning. That's the language that Andre Brighton Writer has been using these past few weeks in the press conferences. It is all about winning. And even when we went down to 10 men, we were still trying to get forward when we could. But like I say, it's always difficult when you're a man down. Obviously, the front man was getting isolated, and it's difficult, isn't it? So yeah, like I say, we were backs against the walls for most of the second half. To be honest, Leeds kept coming, but you know what? We defended so well. Like I said, the whole team dug in deep. To be honest with you, and you know, I think that if you look at how we performed in that second half, considering we were down to 10 men, we have to say big well done to the lads, because you know it's not easy. We couldn't get the ball to stick at the top. At times we did, to be fair, and obviously as the half went on, we did look to try and, especially towards the end, the latter of the game, we was looking quite threatening, and we were actually going for the winner, because obviously we had a set piece. But obviously we did hold out for quite a bit of the second half. Then obviously Leeds scored, equalised, courtesy of Bamford. Like I say, I think it was a bit of a disappointing goal to concede, to be honest with you. I think, you know, defensively we could have done better. Too easy to get the cross in, and Bamford just had too much space. But you know, he just got that extra yard, and he finished it, and that's just one of those. And it was gutting, because I was thinking to myself after the game, I was thinking, if you would have maybe held on a bit longer, maybe to like the 80th minute, would we have saw out the game? But it's all ifs, buts, and maybes, isn't it? Really, you know, you can't really kind of say that, because you don't know what would have happened. But I'm always a bit thinking like that. Like, if we could have held on for the extra 10 minutes, then would we have been able to see out the game? But we'll never know that. But obviously they did equalise, and then they really did start to maybe find their rhythm a bit more. But again, we stood firm. You know, we stood toe to toe with them, and so we did make a few changes in the second half as well, which I've forgotten to mention. Well, in fact, no, I haven't, because we actually made them after the goal. Brodie Spencer, like I said, did come off, but he lasted 72 minutes. Jaheim Headley came on. I thought he did good when he came on, to be fair. Obviously, he hadn't played football. He hadn't had much, you know, he's only just come back from injury, so he's not played much football. But yeah, I think he looked good, and he's a big boost to have him back in the team as well, because you know it just adds that depth. You know, it just adds that depth and option from the bench that we didn't necessarily have before. I think and then Bergzorg had run himself down to the ground as well, and he came off for Josh Koroma. And I think Josh did as well as he could. Like I say, it's always difficult though, because obviously he was actually the sole striker for us, the false nine. Like I say, it's not his natural position, so he did okay. But like I say, he's best out wide for me. But he did as best as he could and put in a shift. But yeah, like I said, Leeds obviously kept coming forward. They did hit the post. It was just a constant barrage of efforts from Leeds, really, towards, when they, especially when they equalised, it gave them a bit more confidence to go forward. But then, as I said, we also had some chances towards the end. Obviously, Sorba Thomas had a shot left side of the box. It was just blocked though. Good ball from Radoni to set that chance up. Like I say, we had set piece towards the end as well, and obviously we had a few moments where I thought, oh, we're nearly through, but we couldn't quite get there. But listen, I think in summary, I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't happy with the point, because obviously we have to put in perspective the quality that Leeds do have. I don't think they was on it on the day though. I don't think they was on it, and I think that the red card ultimately helped them to get back into the game, and I think that's just a real shame. I'm not gonna go too hard on Hoggy. I think, look, it's one of those things. It happens, but I just think, really, if we're being truthfully honest, an experienced player like he is, and obviously, like I say, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a passionate guy. Obviously, we know what he's like. He's not scared to get a tackle in, and he's Huddersfield town through and through, and he's a legend. But I just think he truly let himself down in that moment, and I know that's easy for me to say now, because as I said, they were winding him up all that first half, and he just balled over, and he just did something silly that he knew afterwards. Apparently, he came into the he apologised to the manager and the team after the game about that. And yeah, fair play to him. He knows that he shouldn't have done. He knows that he was silly to do that, and ultimately it's cost us all 3 points in a way. But overall, much better performance in this one. We really did restore some pride from the previous fixture anyway, at least. I certainly think we didn't deserve to lose that game, so a point maybe on the balance of play, especially in the second half, obviously, because they were able to get on the ball more than they were in the first half, because obviously we were down to 10 men. So I think in the balance of play, I think Leeds maybe deserved to get the goal. But yeah, so I think a point maybe have been the fair result, but it's just one of those. I think like I say, if we would have been able to kind of see out the game at 1-0, that would have been huge for us, really would, especially with all the results afterwards going absolutely against us, which, look, I mean, it's one of those, and I think you've just got to kind of look at it this way. If we hadn't have got that point on Saturday, we would have been in the bottom 3. So, it's a positive point, and we have to take it on and build on it against Cardiff. And I think ultimately, that game it's a win. It's a must win. It's a must win. And it feels like every game there is so much pressure to get a result, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at, unfortunately, again. And I said at the end of last season, I didn't want to be in this situation, like we were in last season. Now, to be fair, we're not in that position this season. Obviously, we were cut adrift at one point last season in the relegation, but and now we're actually in the thick of it, but there's no real progress. We're still fighting relegation, so I didn't want to be in this position this season, but decisions that were made ultimately has cost us, and going with a different, a manager that was nowhere, that shouldn't have been appointed, and then waiting and waiting and waiting. I just hope that the decision to get rid of our previous manager won't come back to haunt us, because we could see weeks and weeks before that it wasn't working, and they just kept hoping that it would change, but it was never going to change for me. But look, there's no point dwelling on what's happened in the past, to be honest with you. We just have to focus on the future, and I think, if we keep going into games wanting, looking to win, which we will be doing, and we got, surely we'll win more than we'll lose, and surely that'll mean we'll be staying up. But I look at the table and I think, how many points will it be to stay up this time? Because it feels like it's going to be it's going to be quite a bit more than what it was last season. I can't remember at the top of my head what it was last season in terms of points that kept us up, but I think we're going to have to, ultimately go on a winning run. We need to get if we get maybe 2 wins on the trot, and maybe a draw in the third game, then we can start looking at, really look at trying to get away from that pack, because like I said, we've just not been able to get away from the pack at the bottom end. And yeah, so look, what a start though for Andre Brighton, right? Obviously 2 games in, 4 points from 6. Really good turn, really good start to his time at the club. He's going to do everything in his power to help the team. The lads are a lot happier now in training, you can see that. And there's a lot more confidence in the group now. The confidence is being built back up against, over the last few weeks. And I just think, we're in a good place. We're not in a good place in the table though, but we're in a good place in terms of how the team is feeling. I just get that feeling, smiles on faces in the play from the players. The players look like they're enjoying the football a bit more now, as well, which is good. But we need to start getting results. And even though we did get a result on the weekend, and it was I'm not saying it was a bad point, because it wasn't, but I just think the frustration is if we would have been able to keep 11 men on the pitch, I genuinely, I've said it before, I genuinely feel we would have won that game. And like I say, that extra 2 points come the end of the season, could well be the difference between staying up and going down. But obviously we don't really want to be leaving it too close. We want to be trying to get up that table as soon as we can. And if you look at the table though as well, from 16th to 23rd, it is only 5 points difference between them. It is so tight, and there's so many teams involved as well. If you look at our fixtures as well, I think we've got some massive. I mean, every game is a cup final now, to be fair, so they're all massive. But I just think we've got teams coming up. We're coming up against teams that are around us. We've got Stoke, Millwall, and we've got another team that I can't remember right now. Stoke, Millwall, and just going to quickly have a look. I did actually. Birmingham are down there, but that's the second to last game of the season, so we don't really need too late. Millwall, Stoke, and Rotherham. We've got Rotherham as well, which is that is just in a few weeks. So I kind of get to the point of this at this stage of the season. I'm always like very. What the word is that? I'm very much like, I worry a lot. I don't know if everybody's like, but I do worry a lot. But from following Town since I was younger, we know we never do it the easy way. We always do it the most difficult way. There's never an in-between kind of seasons. And what I mean by that, there's no like comfortable season, maybe mid-table. We're not inferior. We're not looking over our shoulders in terms of relegation, and we're just comfortable. It's either going for promotion or trying to stay in the division. And yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, it's that. Like I said, there's lots of football. Like I say, we can be sitting here maybe this time next week, next Monday, a week on Monday, and we'll be thinking we've got a bit of a cushion again now, which is nice, which is what we hope. Because obviously, hopefully we can get those. Hopefully we can get back-to-back wins starting on Wednesday against Cardiff, obviously away. So yeah, we're just gonna have to. We should take confidence from the performance for sure on Saturday. And like I say, I'm not. I wasn't. I was still gutted we didn't win because, like I say, whenever we don't win, I'm always gutted. But I've, having reflected, I think look, it was a good point. But like I say, I kind of feel like there's a lot of regrets in that game, especially with the red card. And I think that we would have won had we have not got that red card ultimately. And that's where that's the biggest frustration for me. Apart from that, can't fault the performance. And it's just the same as what we've been seeing in the past few games, really. And since Worthy took over and then Andres took over, it's just the same positive play, looking to create and trying to keep that solid foundations at the back as well, and midfield doing their jobs. So yeah, I'm happy and I'm glad that we can really start to build on it. I mean, look, that referee, by the way, I'm going to finish on this one. The referee, wow. Now, I bet it seems like a broken record that I always constantly go on about the referees. But let me tell you, that referee was they were quite happy to dish out yellow cards for us. But when it was them, they just let them get away with everything. There were, challenges all over the place that should have been bookings. And even, we talk about the red card for Hogg. What about Bamford's elbow into Jack Radoni's neck? What about that? Jack Radoni obviously had the ball, he was looking to break, and Bamford just comes over and elbows him. No red card. I'm like thinking to myself, where is the consistency? That was a clear red card, and the referee just ignored it. And it was even by the linesman. So there's no excuse. But the linesmen never do anything. They never intervene. They just stand there and do absolutely nothing. So honestly, the referee, the officials were horrendous. Leeds actually only got one booking in this game, and that was after the hour. 63 minutes it was. They got a booking. Routier went into the book. One yellow card, and they were lunging in, and there were so many challenges that I was thinking to myself, how is he not getting booked here? And like the Bamford one, how is he not getting sent off? So yeah, look, we know we were always up against the referees. We've always seen it. It's nothing different, is it? We're always up against the referees. They're always against us, and we never get anything from them. Or if we do, we get the odd decision. Okay, fine, but we never get the fair roll of the dice with these referees. So yeah, that was another annoyance that I had coming away from the game. But yeah, like I say, onwards and upwards now. We have to keep positive, even though I'm worrying. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen here, and I want us to get safe and all this, and it's hard to kind of, I don't know what I'm trying. It's hard to cope with, even though we should be used to it by now. But I still don't find it any easier with these relegation battles that we've had over the years. It's never any easier because we know the implication of if we do go down, it would be huge. It would be huge, and there's no coming back from League One. It's not as easy as going down and then coming straight back up again. It doesn't happen very often. So look, I don't even want to think about that, to be honest with you. But we have to keep remaining positive, keep playing how we are. Going into games looking to win the game, which we will. And I just think if we do that and apply ourselves like we have done over the coming weeks, then I think we'll be absolutely fine. I think we'll be safe. But we have to start getting the points on the board ultimately, and that's what it's about. It's not about, hoping and saying all these things. We have to actually, we have to get a few wins together, like I say, and win against the teams around us. Like I said, the teams that we've got coming up around us, they are even bigger than the other fixtures as well. Like I said, every game's a cup final now though, so every game's big. But I just mean teams around us, it is imperative that we win those games, you know. So, well, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. My summary of the game. Like I said, very happy with the performance. We got some pride back. We showed what we could do. Just the red card let us down, and then that let them back in, and then we had to settle for a point, unfortunately. Even though we could have won it at the end, which would have been absolute scenes if we would have got a goal in injury time, but it wasn't to be this time. But yeah, a point's a point, and it could be a valuable point. I know I said that if we could have won the game, it would have been an extra 2 points. That could be the difference. This point that we get could be the difference as well. So I think I just have to look at it more in a positive mindset, I think, maybe. And yeah, I believe in this group. I believe in the manager. I think he's a fantastic manager. We're in safe hands with him, and I do think that we can stay up with him with the approach that we've got now and the confidence that he's given the players, and yeah, just giving the players the freedom to play football, and the players look like they're really enjoying it in training and in match days as well. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm going to do a live stream on Tuesday actually for the Cardiff game. So I'll do a preview show on Tuesday night. I'm not sure what time, probably either 6 or 7 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. I'll post it on my socials and I'll schedule it on here on the morning of the I'll decide what time we'll go live. So yeah, join me for that. But so yeah, join me for that, and like I say, thank you for your support, and as always, up the town, Andre Brighton writers, Barmiami, come on Terriers. So yeah, good night, have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday night for the preview show. Take care everyone, bye bye.